Picture the scene at a local gym. There is the familiar clang of iron, the grunts of heavy lifting, the constant thud of weights hitting the floor. It has long been taught that this is the sound of getting stronger. That progress is measured in adding another plate to the bar, lifting heavier, and pushing harder than the week before. But what if some of the world's most elite athletes are discovering that the secret to unlocking their highest levels of strength isn't found in more movement, but in perfect stillness? Before we pull into the details, take a quick second to hit the like button and subscribe to join the Better Health community. As a member, you'll get science-backed weekly content about healthy tips, workout routines, music, superfoods and huge discounts when you shop online at the Better Health and Wellness Fitness store. Our store link can be found in the description. Sign up today. Better Health, Wellness and Fitness, because better health is for everyone. What if the key to building truly functional power was less about noise and motion, and more about quiet, focused tension? They are trading in their barbells for the most basic piece of equipment imaginable, a simple wall. And it's not just a fad. Science is now showing exactly how doing on the surface, nothing at all, can build a foundation of incredible strength that lasts. For decades, the fitness mantra has been incredibly simple. To get stronger, one must lift more. This philosophy of progressive overload is the bedrock of strength training, and it works until it doesn't. This endless, relentless chase for more weight, more reps, more sets often lead down one of two frustrating paths. The first is a symphony of nagging aches and pains. A tweaked lower back, a shoulder that always clicks, knees that protest every deep squat. It is often said that this is just part of the game, the cost of getting strong. The second path is the stubborn plateau. That frustrating point where, no matter how hard someone pushes or how much they eat, the numbers on the bar simply refuse to budge for weeks, or even months. For elite athletes, this old school model can be even more limiting. A basketball player or a martial artist doesn't just need raw strength, they need to express that strength with lightning speed and ruthless efficiency. The classic bodybuilding approach, focused on building sheer muscle mass, can actually hold them back by adding extra bulk that they then have to carry around, potentially slowing them down. They need maximum force production without the unwanted mass. So, what if there was a way to get brutally, shockingly strong, to build joints of steel, and to bulletproof the body against injury, all without the constant wear and tear of heavy, repetitive lifting? This is where the quiet revolution of isometrics comes in. Let's break down the term. Iso means same, and metric means length. So, an isometric contraction is simply a muscle contraction where the muscle generates force, but its length doesn't change. Consider pushing with all one's might against a solid brick wall. The wall isn't moving, and the arm isn't moving, but the muscles can be felt firing with incredible intensity. That's an isometric contraction. It's the principle behind a plank, or the title exercise, the wall sit. So, how does this stillness build strength? The magic lies in how it communicates with the nervous system. Every muscle is made of fibers that are activated by something called motor units. Motor units can be thought of as light switches for muscle fibers. A normal lift might only flip on a certain number of those switches. But a maximal isometric contraction, pushing or holding as hard as possible, is one of the most effective ways to teach the central nervous system to flip on a massive number of those switches simultaneously. It's a direct line to improving the ability to recruit muscle, which is the very definition of raw strength potential. Furthermore, because there's no joint movement, the shearing forces and friction that lead to wear and tear are dramatically reduced. But the benefits go deeper. The tendons and connective tissues are also strengthened, which are so often the weak link in the chain and the site of frustrating injuries. Recent studies have even shown that isometric training can produce comparable, and in some cases, superior gains in muscle size and strength compared to traditional lifting, especially when the holds are performed at longer muscle lengths. Meaning when the muscle is in a more stretched position. If this information is already blowing minds and causing people to rethink their entire approach to getting strong, they can do themselves a favor and hit the subscribe button. This channel is here every single week, breaking down the real science of human performance so that it can be applied to see the results. This isn't just some interesting theory from a science lab. Top-tier coaches in professional sports are using isometric principles to deliver staggering real-world results. They're building more resilient, more powerful athletes. The wall sit. It sounds simple, almost too simple to be effective. But done correctly, it's one of the most potent lower body exercises in existence. To do it right, the entire back is placed flat against a sturdy wall. One slowly slides down until the thighs are perfectly parallel to the floor, as if sitting in an invisible chair. The knees should be at a 90-degree angle and aligned directly over the ankles, not drifting out over the toes. Now, hold. That intense, burning sensation that quickly builds in the quads, glutes, and even the calves? That's not just pain, that is the feeling of the body undergoing massive motor unit recruitment. And this principle can be applied everywhere. Take the plank, don't just hold it, create tension. Squeeze the glutes, brace the core as if about to take a punch, and try to pull the elbows and toes toward each other. Suddenly, it's a full body exercise. Or the dead hang. Simply hanging from a pull-up bar not only builds formidable grip strength, a foundation for all heavy lifting, but it also decompresses the spine and promotes shoulder health. The same can be done with a glute bridge hold, lying on the back and driving the hips to the sky, squeezing the glutes as hard as possible to awaken muscles that are often dormant from sitting. A great way to start is to pick 3 exercises, perhaps a wall sit, a plank, and a dead hang, and hold each for 30 to 60 seconds of intense, focused effort. Rest for a minute, and repeat for 3 total sets. Now, after hearing all this, some might be wondering if the message is to tear up a gym membership and build a home gym consisting of only a wall. Absolutely not. Let's be crystal clear. Traditional weightlifting is still the undisputed king for building strength and muscle through a full range of motion. The squat, the deadlift, the overhead press, these are foundational movements. The real secret, the method used by the smartest athletes, is not replacement, but integration. Isometrics should be thought of, not as a substitute for dynamic training, but as a powerful force multiplier. They are the turbocharger added to an already powerful engine. Traditional, dynamic lifts are used to build the base of strength and coordination, and then targeted isometrics are used to supercharge that strength, patch up weak points, and build incredible stability. Here's how it looks in practice. During squats, add a 3 to 5 second pause at the very bottom of the lift, down in the hole. This pause eliminates the stretch reflex, the little bounce from the bottom, forcing the muscles to generate raw, pure force from a dead stop. This builds incredible strength right where most people are weakest. This hybrid approach is how one becomes a truly resilient athlete. This integration of dynamic movement and static holds patches up weak points in the kinetic chain and dramatically boosts tendon and ligament health, making athletes more powerful, more stable, and more resistant to injury than ever before. From a young age, people are taught that strength is always loud, it's the roar of effort, the crash of weights. But the cutting edge of performance science is revealing a profound truth. Some of the biggest gains can be found in absolute, focused stillness. There is a rediscovery that strength isn't just about how much weight can be moved from point A to point B at its core. Strength is about the ability to create and manage tension. By strategically using isometric holds, the world's best athletes are building a different kind of strength, a more resilient, more efficient, and more functional power that translates directly to their sport and protects them from injury. The invitation is for everyone to stop just chasing reps and start thinking differently. To start mastering tension, the next time someone walks into the gym, they shouldn't just ask themselves how much they can lift. They should ask themselves how much tension they can create. That is the new frontier of strength. Thanks for watching, see you next week.